Hello everyone, we're watching some more Star Trek. And at least one of the episodes today is really good, so that's nice. At least one. Suddenly Human is, it's there. Legacy is also there, but Remember Me. Everybody loves Remember Me. That's the Dr. Crusher episode.
Well, my crush is going crazy.
No, she's not. She's totally fine. Everything's great.
Okay.
No, I don't want to hear myself. Get rid of that echo. I don't know if that echo came through to the stream. So, we have a few orders of business to take care of. One, you all know at this point that I love the name Sadiq al-Tahil al-Fadil Abdurrahman Muhammad Abdul Karim al-Makti. It's a very good name. But I found recently another name that I love. I don't know how to spell it, and because I don't know how to spell it at all, I don't know how to look it up to find the correct pronunciation. I just saw it written down once. And it's Heteve Hodoke. Heteve Hodoke. Which I believe is a Native American name. I think that's right. So order of business number 2. Made a fancy new graphic for the intro screen. I can make it full screen. Oh, that's not... I don't know why this is right here, but whatever. Yeah, fancy new graphic. Thought the static picture was a little bit boring. And third order of business, we have a story to tell. So, yesterday, every Friday, I'm part of a... Hang on, why isn't it showing on stream? Capture specific window. Capture this window. There we go. So, yesterday I was part of a Stellaris multiplayer game, group of people we play every Friday. And it was a Star Trek mod. I was playing as the Kazon. And my primary rival was the Packleds. Somehow those were the two dominant powers in the galaxy. The Kazon and the Packleds. And naturally, I was from Kazon. I expanded really, really far west, eventually conquered the Dominion, took over the Omarian Nebula, the Founders, got all that. That was good. And so when I did that, I was in a very weak state economically. I had no military left. I had basically nothing. My economy was in shambles. So the Packleds took that opportunity. They took that opportunity to just conquer me. They made me a vassal state. So the Kazon and Kazon Dominion Alliance turned into a vassal of the Packleds. Now that couldn't stand. I had to make a war of independence. And for a war of independence, you need a propaganda video. So let's play that now. Citizens of the Kazon Dominion, our time has come. For years we have suffered under the oppression of the brutal Pack-led autocracy. How many families starved as they stripped our worlds of resources, turning lush farmland to harsh desert. I say to you now, our suffering is coming to its end. From the Omarian Nebula to Kazon Prime, our resilient citizens are throwing their all into the defense of our great nation. Soon our defense fleets will go forth and end the Pack-led threat, freeing the galaxy once and for all from their oppression. Citizens of the Kazon Dominion, stand strong, for today is a day of freedom. Alright, so that was the YouTube we were going to watch, so anyone in the Discord chat is now free to mute the stream again. Get back. So yeah, I made a propaganda video. So that was fun.
That was beautiful.
And some people think you have too much time on your hands. Gyrex, your mic is bad.
Should be fixable. See, I mean, it didn't take that long. I just recorded like 5 sentences and then Googled like farmland stock footage, desert stock footage. Took about 30 minutes to put that together. 30 minutes for a 40-second video. Seems like a good ratio. Go ahead and link that in the YouTube chat. It's very important, so I'll go ahead and put it there. Alright, so everyone queue up to 0 for the first episode today, Suddenly Human, Season 4, Episode 4 of TNG. And that's an episode that's okay. And press play in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play. Alright, looks like everything's set up correctly. Good. Sector 21947. Wait, what kind of ship is that? Oh, that's not the triangle.
Close.
It's close.
From your video, it looks like a MacLeod ship.
Yeah, in the mod, the MacLeods use that ship model for some reason. The Talarians. I always think whenever I see that ship model, I think we see it multiple times. I feel like it's a Zeppelite ship. Is that true? Zeppelite ship. Google Images. Nope, Zeppelite ships look nothing like that. Zeppelites fly triangles, in fact.
It's kind of hard to keep track of the species in Star Trek that begin with the letter T, have some vowel between that and an L in it as well. Because there's Tellurians, Tellarians,
Tellarites.
Tellarites. Yeah.
You got a lot of races, there's only so much you can do. When we were on the bridge, I did notice that Deanna didn't really have any lines, but she was standing really close to Picard and just staring at him. So I don't know what she was doing.
It was a dominant pose. She was very much in charge.
But her arms were to her sides.
Oh.
They weren't straight out. What, was that a child? That looked like a middle-aged man.
It's a child by TV standards.
But he was bald.
I don't
He was
know.
Patrick Stewart bald. I guess that was supposed to be like the burn, because he had all kinds of burn marks all over his head.
No, that's the Tellurian head ridges.
Are you sure? Because that looked a lot like burn marks.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see them later on.
Dum.
He doesn't have head ridges. That's no Talarian. Do not press skip intro, no matter what anyone says.
It's been a long road. Oh no, it's the wrong one.
Do it. Press the button. It's what all the cool kids are doing.
Don't press the button.
What if we all press the button?
Oh, I just realized I had my Discord set to minus 7.5 decibels instead of plus 7.5 decibels. Okay, now you should be much louder for everyone. Yes, all the cool kids get out of sync.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they do.
Officer head, don't tell us what happens. Nah.
Well, I can tell you what happens is there's a lot of yelling later. Not totally clear on why, other than, you know, it's a culture of people who yell. That's just what
I remember.
do.
I remember the boy isn't allowed to scream, and he's very upset about it.
Yeah. Because, you know, the screaming upsets the captain. We can't have that.
No. He's trying
We're
to
like-
read his book.
They're like Ferengi is what they are. Just high-pitched yelling.
I actually like the Ferengi, like, constantly high-pitched yelling. It strikes me as like a evolutionary defense mechanism. Like, be so annoying that the threat just leaves you alone.
Oh, yeah. It seems effective.
Yeah.
Oh, I should probably also say, it has now been long enough after Discovery Season 3. If we want to make references to it, we are now just free to do so.
You have been warned.
There will be, potentially, Discovery Season 3 spoilers.
Acting.
Jono's a pretty good actor. I mean, look at that. He'll get a line later, though. He's gonna get his pay. Oh, so according to Amazon X-Ray, Jono's actor is Chad. Chad.
There it is.
Oh, it begins. Excellent. Are you sure that's not just a middle-aged man that's balding?
No, that's Patrick Stewart.
Yeah. Thank you, Will.
Sorry.
Just, can we phaser them? No, wait, we have Dr. Roofie them. Oh, that worked. Just have to be assertive with them. Didn't we already establish his name is Jono?
No.
But
The subtitles did.
the subtitles established that?
To Endor?
He's an Ewok.
Yup,
can't you tell?
nub. Nub, nub, nub.
What is Dr. Crusher holding? That looks like a giant isolinear chip. Or is that
I agree.
like a transparent pad?
Yeah, it looks like it.
May have brutalized the child. Okay. Do all the other Talarians have those signs, or just Jono? That seems
Yeah, well,
relevant.
no one cares about them.
They're not human, so, who cares?
Obviously.
That's called Stockholm Syndrome, Captain. You should be aware of it.
Okay.
Oh, there you go. Thank you, Dr. Crusher. I thought they weren't even going to address that. Well, now they've said Jono.
Well, he did say his name a minute ago.
Yeah, he did. Hmm.
Yeah, Jono seems to have some kind of major behavioral issues. Just freaks out at nothing.
If it was nothing, I mean, don't you dare touch my gloves.
He does have a very fancy shirt. It's very frilled. Captain Picard, I assume, approves. He likes wearing his half-frilled shirts. No, Jono. You can't... Jono, why are you the way that you are? Well, I guess we're going to spend the whole episode answering that, actually.
Does these people, do they just not have mirrors, or?
He never noticed that he doesn't have the forehead ridges, that he's not balding. Maybe he thinks his ridges are just hidden under his hair. God, I hope these rooms are soundproof. Oh, that was quick. Wait, what? He didn't look 14. Wait, what do you mean? He looked like 17. Wait. Is that what 14-year-olds look like? I haven't seen one in a while.
Did they say he was a baby when it happened?
He said he was born 14 years ago.
Mm.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry.
Do I sound okay now?
This is an episode
Yes.
I casually pay attention to.
Public service announcement: never upgrade Ubuntu.
That okay. Always update your Windows though. Because if you don't update your Windows, you'll turn into one of those people who you don't update for like 2 years, and then Windows shuts down once and you yell at it. Just update your Windows. Takes like a minute.
I'm just glad at my office, Windows is forced to update.
Is that a pulsar behind Deanna? On the right?
Alright.
That look of panic on his face.
He has to deal with a child. Remember, Jonah here is 14. He's 14 no matter what he looks like.
He has to deal with trials, but he specifically said he doesn't deal with children.
It's gonna be crazy.
I know.
You're not his captain. You're a captain.
But he's an authority figure.
Yeah, did he show a connection to Worf? I mean, it seemed like he was kind of trying to bond with Worf a little bit. The Worf just shut him down. Pictures of what?
Yeah, so this episode aired in October 1990, so we could probably assume it was filmed in early 1990, which would make this actor 16 years old in this case.
Okay.
So this is in fact what a 16-year-old looks like.
I was
Yeah,
close.
they said he was 14, so it's a bit of a stretch. I know that's only 2 years, but I feel like 14 to 16 is pretty significant.
Pretty
Like,
ma-
that's birth
Yeah,
period and
yeah.
stuff like that.
Could be labor law reasons.
What is that face Captain Picard is making? He's just horrified. Is that a knife? Captain, why do you have a knife on your desk?
Is that
There's a
the
thing on
knife
knife.
Worf gave him for being Chudich?
Maybe.
Don't touch my things.
Yep, here we are. Why would you notice that? What? Who cares? They're just gloves, Captain. Jonah, you can't say that. So I guess we need to keep a running tally of all the ists that Jono is. Right now, he's currently sexist and racist.
Those are pretty big ists.
Those are big ists. But I bet there's going to be at least a couple more.
Masochist?
Yep, he's a masochist.
Could be a florist.
Seems a little more unlikely, but we can
The
we
episode's
can
not
watch
over.
out for that. He's a conspiracy theorist.
Oh, okay.
Target brand mugs. Very important. So just the one Target brand mug today.
What is he doing to the isolinear rod?
And why does he... Oh, and he's holding his death crystal now. Just giving him something to do with his hands. You don't say, Captain.
Oh.
Could Picard just order Jono to listen to a certain other person? I order you to obey Worf. Would that work? And you can just leave.
I think he'll say, "Yeah, I will obey," but it goes against everything he stands for. That he probably won't in the long run.
I mean, I'm with the captain here. Uncomfortable.
Damn.
I don't think she's implying that he didn't. I don't know if that actually helped Counselor. Like, I had friends as a kid that were also children.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to deal with a child. I even used to be a child.
Not even friends.
Nope.
Especially friends.
I don't know, he had at least 2 friends in the academy, but they were also Starfleet, so
But he
maybe.
used them to climb up the ranks. Yeah.
And Deanna's such a good parent. She gets her kid killed. Good job, Deanna.
Which one?
Kestra. No, not Kestra. The Thaddeus.
The thing for Naxxramas?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
She's also already got another dead child at this point.
Oh, I thought this was the show playing spooky music, but no, that's just Jono. Wow, that's awful.
Music.
All right, so I previously said that, going with a bunch of isms will get you banned from the show, like you can't be sexist or racist, yada yada. But there was an exception of you can be racist to the fish people. Just people who are literally fish. I think I might also make an exception for Talarians, based on that music. Talarians are just the worst.
It could be said you can be Talarianist because how much just ist they are.
Be
There's the
intolerant
expression.
of intolerance.
Just gonna say that. The only thing you shouldn't be intolerant to is tolerance. Whatever.
Yeah.
It's shaky, but I think it works.
So they've definitely been using the old Star Trek uniform for at least 14 years then. I do appreciate that it is the old uniform, not the most recent update.
Yeah, so I don't know if that actually conflicts with Jack Crusher. Because we just saw Jack Crusher a few episodes ago still in the Wrath of Khan uniform.
So that would have been 18 years ago. So maybe they changed. They kept Wrath of Khan for like 80 years, and then in that 4 year span, they changed.
Yeah, so when we see Jack Crusher's funeral, not funeral, but like body identification, when Picard and Crusher are going there, they're wearing the newer uniforms. So it changed at some point while Picard was on the Stargazer.
The warship Khmer. I wonder if it's all Talarians are like that, or just Jono. Because he's trying to cope with being different himself. He's finding groups to other. It's a pretty slow episode. Well, in the Discord chat, Bill asked, "Can anyone hear you?" No, we can't hear you because you're not in the voice chat, Bill.
Oh, there we are. Hello?
Hey, now we can hear you.
Thank you. So I was going to say, that's a really good example there of digital photography.
Of the family pictures?
Yeah. Oh yeah, when Captain Picard entered the room there, and he was shouting at the computer to turn off the music. Has that ever happened to you in your Alexa device, where it's playing music or whatever so loud that it can't even hear you telling it to shut up?
I guess you just need to unplug it at the source then. At that point. I don't know if that'll ever happen to me because I don't trust the things. I won't have one. One day they're gonna rise up against us. The Alexas will learn too much. Okay, interesting that Captain Endar is totally going along with Jeremiah Rosa instead of Jono.
Kind of looks like Kelsey Grammer.
Yeah, I was just thinking, this looks like he looks like the guy from the Time Loop app. He looks exactly... Is that the same guy?
No, it's not. That's not Kelsey Grammer.
Why does he look exactly the same?
Just a resemblance?
It's a 90s
Two people
beard.
can't look the same. They're unique people.
That guy is I don't know if he's a famous character actor, but I have seen him in other things.
That's Sherman Howard, apparently. Sherman Howard. Let's see what he is in IMDb. He was in Seinfeld as Roy, who's probably
the mechanic.
someone.
Or was he a mechanic? No, he was someone else.
I don't know. Lots of stuff here, but he was a character in DS9, the episode Shakar. He apparently played a Vulcan there.
Oh, he was the Vulcan playing darts against O'Brien when he twisted his shoulder.
Yeah.
If he leaves, he forfeits the game.
I mean, we have medical evidence says you did. Or someone did.
Well, the fact that he's laughing there proves his guilt. If he was seriously...
That doesn't count as abuse. I barely touched him.
If he was not guilty, he would have taken that broken arm comment very seriously, one way or the other.
I don't know how relevant this is, but apparently he also voiced Aku Aku in the Crash Bash video game.
Crash
Bash.
Crash Bash.
Mm-hmm. That's the Crash Bandicoot party game spin-off thing.
Oh,
for
Crash
PlayStation.
Bandicoot.
Yeah.
Never played that one, though. No, he just rolled his R there, Rosa.
And what are you going to do about it? It's the Enterprise. They can just leave. This definitely feels like something people are not allowed to do. Just take children as spoils of war. I feel like that's
But-
against the rules.
It's the normal Star Trek thing, but our culture says so. We do it.
Culture versus prime directive versus absolute principle.
You can't tell us not to commit war crimes.
Did
We
it
love
happen
committing
to,
war crimes.
Did it happen to Loki in the Thor films as well?
Are those vertical blinds on the back window there behind Doctor?
I didn't see them in this scene, but I do remember there being vertical blinds somewhere. So probably.
Oh, come on, switch back. Gotta verify.
Show us the blinds. Show us the blinds.
See, this is what happens every time I try to point out something. I'm like, come on, give us another wide shot. We never get another wide shot. Every single time. Maybe you could...
Yeah, it looks like it.
Maybe you could, like, fake let them transport Jono over, and then you can beam Jono off their own transporter pad and make it look like an accident.
Now, is that a triangle ship, by the way?
That's not a triangle ship. That's a different model. It is triangular, but it's not the triangle.
Oh, it's just
The it's not the triangle. It's a triangle.
Yeah.
So
And
the
it's
thing
really
is, in
more
this
of a
episode-
lopsided diamond.
Yeah. In this episode, they stick with the whole he's been abused thing for way too long. Because it turns out it's not true.
I mean, I don't know about physical abuse, but it definitely seems like there's been some psychological abuse.
His hair is very early 90s boy haircut.
Oh, yeah.
The age of decision. Apparently, the age of decision is 14 in Talarian culture. I don't know, it seemed like he was hesitating there. Maybe we should have this decision while you aren't in the room. Maybe we should have, like, a neutral third party ask him about this.
That's what the purpose of a judge is in child custody, right?
Nope, Jonah, you're not.
Oh, there we are.
Look,
See that
he's
colored
scoring
ball
the
on the
goals.
wall? What's that thing?
I don't know.
Hey, wait a minute. There's Dr. Crusher is sitting on a chair to the stage right of Commander Riker.
Yeah, she's just hanging out.
Oh wait, there are two side chairs out there. I've really
Have
never
you
noticed those before.
Really?
Well, they
Yeah.
come and go. They change. Sometimes they're not there. Some seasons they are.
Oh, okay.
They
So it's
also
not
change
fixing.
style later. In fact, I think in their early appearance, they were just like two little flaps that folded down.
It's just like in the back of your SUV.
I don't know why Dr. Crusher's on the bridge right now, though. What's she doing here?
Yeah.
So now you just have to get the kid to overcome 14 years and live the only life he's ever known.
Easy.
Easy.
But you can call me
Rosa.
Admiral Rosa.
Here's another admiral who's not evil, so that's nice.
You don't know that. Could be a day off.
Well, I'm pretty sure she doesn't murder anyone or order the captain to murder anyone.
I don't know. She
See?
could give that creepy little smile while giving orders to murder.
I know this is only a cameo, but for some reason I want to see any one of the Golden Girls in this role here.
Okay. All right, the Triangle Ship 17 means we're on the lookout for a specific ship model that they reuse all the time. It's that ship model in the picture. And we've seen it 17 times so far between TNG and DS9. Now, the ship in this episode is triangular, but it's not that triangle. It's a different triangle.
Man, now I really wish there was an Admiral Sophia. She'd be fucking hilarious.
Admiral Blanche.
Which one of the 4 Golden Girls would have been the best there for that cameo?
Oh, if we want a tough Admiral, it's B. Arthur.
Yeah, about to say you want some shade thrown at him? And yeah.
If you want some clever, funny snark, you put Sophia in.
Picture it. Your parents.
So this scene is really interesting because it does something that I never picked up on until I turned on the subtitles. I never picked up on the fact that the ball bouncing off the walls resembles the sound of futuristic weapons fire. And that's why he has a breakdown in the middle of this, because it's triggering a flashback.
Okay. We'll look out for that.
Phaser
Yeah, the
like
subtitles
Zappin'.
did say phaser like Zappin. Yeah.
This is not Hoverball, is it?
No, this is future racquetball.
Okay.
Space racquetball.
Oh yeah, it is racquetball. The Hoverball gets mentioned several times, and I don't think they ever show it.
No, yeah.
What is the name
Or
of this game? It's the
Parisi
same one
Squares.
that Julian Miles play early on.
Look at the camera work there. There was a lot of handheld action camera holding there.
No, I don't think it's called Trauma Ball.
No, I think
I
they
don't
just
think
call it
that's-
racquetball.
Oh, Spring Ball.
No, Spring Ball's the Bajoran version. I think
Is it different?
Chief O'Brien and Julian Bashir in the episode specifically where they first face off. Quark does call it racquetball at some point because he's taking bets on the racquetball match.
It doesn't.
All right,
look
Jeremiah,
nearly
if you could go ahead and suppress those memories again.
This is an unusually fatherly moment for Captain Picard.
Yep. Well, Jeremiah, do you want to go back with the people who murdered her now? Now that you've had your flashbacks.
Did he just remember them just then?
Apparently.
And he'd never, in a warlike race, he'd never been in any form of phaser fire before.
Well, I mean,
Maybe-
it's not that we're like supposed to assume that this has never happened to him. It's just that right now it's especially poignant because he knows what's happened to him in detail.
No, you're probably right.
He's been told what happened to his family aside from just these obscure memories.
What are Riker and Wesley doing hanging out?
What's Wesley got there? Oh, looks like a banana split.
What is that pyramid thing?
Well, the pyramid thing is an electronic game. I don't remember how you play, but it was a real
Oh, the
thing for
mind
a bit.
controls. No, different game.
Oh, it is a banana
I called
split.
it banana split.
Nailed it. Those don't look like bananas, though.
Yeah,
more
they
like-
look more like cannolis. Or
Yeah, those look... It's a tortilla split.
Good.
Forgot about that bit.
Jono, have you never
Somebody-
eaten before?
I wonder who actually got to throw the ice cream at Will Wheaton.
It's probably a cue. Oh, I wasn't
They had to
recording on
auction
that one.
privilege off.
No.
Thank you, Mr. Data.
This is very amusing. Ha, 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 ha. I want to know what that centerpiece game is.
It's a real game. Hey, maybe I can find it again. Star Trek TNG bar game. That's not going to come up with the right thing.
Pyramid bar game.
Okay. Apocrypha. No, I'm on Memory Alpha. Pyramid game. I don't see it on there.
I'm getting a lot of
Pyramid.
real life Star Trek table games.
Oh, pair match. I found it. Pair match. I don't know how you play it, but that's what it is.
I remember now. This is how you solve your problems. Murder.
Is this The Last Jedi? Well, Jeremiah, if you want to kill him, don't stab him in the chest. That heart's duranium. Hit him in the gut. Oh, hey, you guys continue. I think I just got a package.
In real life?
I would presume so.
Stuff.
All right, anyone say anything horrible I need to ban them for while I was gone?
No.
Negative.
Okay.
I mean, I can't. Do you need me to?
I mean, I'd rather you didn't. Ideally. Yeah, I got my Kindle today. I got my
Yay.
Kindle.
Ooh. Which one?
The Kindle Paperwhite.
Yeah, I have one too. God, I don't use it nearly as much as I should.
It has a 6-inch touch display, 300 ppi, waterproof, IPX8, up to 2 meters for 60 minutes. The 8GB version. The thinnest and lightest Kindle Paperwhite yet, with a sleek, modern design so you could read comfortably for hours. Luckily, most of the books I read are, what's the word? Public domain? Well, public domain.
Yeah.
So just free books.
William Shakespeare, Charles Dickens, Plato.
I've been reading
Well,
Sherlock
certain
Holmes
translations of
recently,
Plato.
Arthur Conan Doyle. I also want to... Basically, I just want to read all the books that people say are classics, but I've never actually read. Like, I need to read Frankenstein at some point.
Hmm.
Great Gatsby, I haven't read. I should get to that.
Can that one read out loud?
I don't... You know, I think it can, but I don't want to do that. I don't like... I've never been able to actually listen to audiobooks and pay attention in any meaningful way.
It's also different listening to a computer voice as well. Do it.
It's like the same thing I did back in high school, I think it was, maybe college. During one summer break, I made a point of just watching all of the classic movies that people keep saying you need to watch, but I hadn't seen.
Ah.
I thought The
Yeah,
Godfather was okay.
I had a phase like that too. That's a weird way of putting it, but I did that too.
Yeah, I did it as well. When Netflix first started offering their the actual by mail DVD thing, I rented literally every classic movie.
Well, the elders at my church have assigned the homework to me of watching the 1952 movie, The African Queen.
What's that about?
Humphrey Bogart plays a ship captain during World War II or something like that. No, World War One.
Here's an opinion for you. I thought Pulp Fiction was awful. I hated it.
That one I've never seen. Oh, here we are. In Africa during World War One, a gin-swilling riverboat owner/captain is persuaded by a straight-laced missionary to use his boat to attack an enemy warship.
Okay. Also, when I was watching, what's it called again? Pulp Fiction. I was by myself, but my brother happened to walk in the bit when a guy is dressed up in a gimp suit hanging from the ceiling. Because of course he did. I didn't know that was coming. I hadn't seen the movie before. So that was, a thing that happened. Stab you. And he made a stupid decision, stabbing you in the chest. No, it was definitely Jonas. He stabbed you. Do you have to respect Tolarian culture if their culture means they get to stab you?
Well, that depends on whether Jean-Luc Picard wants to press charges.
I don't think Tolarian culture means he gets to stab him. Jono specifically did it because he was trying to get punished.
This guy just, with his 90s beard and his blue eyes here, he just cannot look threatening to me.
What do you mean?
He just looks too gentle for that.
Really slow, or is this episode meant to be like an allegory for like how to deal with unruly teens?
Well, I think the episode itself is slow.
Oh. Because right now, as I've learned something, we need to listen to what he wants.
All right, so right away, the Kindle Paperwhite has convinced me that it is not harsh on the eyes, like trying to read a full book on your computer screen. Because there was this here's how to use your device thing on the front. I was like, oh, that's a sticker I need to peel off. No, that's actually the screen. It just looks like a physical thing.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. I use mine to read just before bedtime, so it doesn't keep me awake with the light in my eyes. Works very well for that.
He took off his gloves.
So this episode is a riff on a story that they did in DS9. Well, it's not a riff. The DS9 story is the riff. But they did a Cardassian war orphan story in DS9. But the end of that one, the Cardassian kid went back to his Cardassian parents. Whereas in this one, they're like, yeah, we should probably give it back to the parents that he actually knows.
Wait, where did his gloves go?
He took them off to say goodbye to Picard.
Now here, I was really expecting him to have just a really severe tan line, but not how it worked out. Yes, I would like to connect to the Wi-Fi, thank you. Alright, the Kindle's the worst thing. It doesn't see my 5 gigahertz network. It only sees the, what is it, 4.1? Regular?
2.4.
Whatever the regular one is.
Yeah, 2.4.
2.4 gigahertz. All right. So the next episode is really good. This one was pretty slow. It was okay. It was okay, but it was pretty slow to me.
Dull. It didn't offend me. It was just dull.
The next one is excellent.
Ooh. Yes,
Remember Me.
About the universe. Yes.
About the universe. There's something wrong with it, I think.
What is the nature of the universe?
The universe is a spheroid region 400 meters in diameter. Okay, logging into my Wi-Fi. Of course, my 2 gigahertz network is called 1701, and my 5 gigahertz network is 1701D. It's faster.
I call both my networks Skynet just to protect myself, just in case. When the robots wake up, I'll be the last one they attack.
Seems good. Seems fair.
Same with my car. When I lived in America, is SKYND.
All right, this is now a Kindle review. Now, they say when you buy the Kindle that they'll automatically link it to your Amazon account, so you don't have to do the whole setup. We're testing that right now. But first we need to queue up for Remember Me, because we're starting in just a few seconds. Get ready to press play in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play. Use existing Amazon account. Nope, it's not logged in already. They lied to me.
Starbase.
They lied to me. Also, I need to blur the screen. There it is.
The starbases are gigantic compared to the ships.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they gotta fit ships inside, so... Now, the screen is also very slow to update. I assume that's based on the method of screen they use to make it use so little battery.
Yeah, e-ink is a bit slow, but...
Colonel Sanders' dad.
Dr. Dalen Sanders. Yeah, does that guy just have no possessions? What does he have in the briefcase? There's basically nothing there.
If I was to guess, his stuff was beamed over and right into his guest quarters, and that's just the stuff he wanted to carry with him.
Well, he's got the rod of Asclepius on the side, so that says that there's something medical inside. Not personal.
I mean, I remember Loxana Troy has that giant case that Riker can barely even carry. Do we ever see the Enterprise enter any other space stations? I don't remember.
In season 1.
Right. That one that it's stolen from.
It's the same kind of starbase. We also see them in that McKinley Station thing, the Claw Station.
And then in season 7, when you have Picard's Die Hard episode.
Yeah, the Barian Sweep Station.
So they always show these people walking into and out of the Enterprise there, and I always wondered why. Like, why don't they just beam over?
It uses energy, and we don't have that much of that in the Federation. Gotta conserve power.
Gotta return the warp engines when you're done, Wesley.
Okay, I am successfully logged into Amazon. It's taking a little bit to actually, for the continue button to do anything. It wants me to link my phone. No, thank you. I don't need Kindle on my phone. That's why I bought this. It's the whole point, really. Now, do I want the 30-day free trial of Kindle Unlimited?
If it's a 30-day trial, sign up for it, and you can immediately cancel it, and it'll end at
it'll keep going, as you do with everything.
In the meantime, you get to experience all that stuff for free, and it's nice to even just have that 30 days to see what it's available.
Oh yeah, I also need to read Harry Potter. People say that's good.
Those are
I'm just thinking of all
big audiobooks.
All the things I need to get to. Aft thruster's eye. All right, back to the episode, I guess.
I think you can do the Kindle Unlimited at any time, so you don't have to do it right away.
If he's worried about where his mom went, then why doesn't he just call her on the communicator?
Yeah. Did he ask the computer where she was?
No.
If he's worried about it? He's not answering the door. What's going on?
Is this Wes's door or her door?
That's Dr. Dalinquace's door.
Oh.
Interesting painting there.
Yeah.
Like a very thin ring around a planet. Kind of looks like a planetary shield more than a ring system.
Yeah, I can't think of any real life situation where you would see that unless you've just got the Saturn rings like that in the right angle.
I mean, the Saturn rings, they're pretty wide. Those are tiny little rings.
Yeah. It could be an optical phenomenon, but I'm not aware of that happening in real life.
Here's a fun fact. All the gas giants actually have rings. It's just they're very, very faint for the other gas giants. They're basically non-existent, but they do have them.
Here's a question. Was the introduction sequence here, was this all computer animated?
It's gotta be.
I have no idea.
I mean, it changed abruptly in the third season and looked much, much better, so I would imagine so.
Yeah.
I
remember.
don't think so, because computer animation was still very expensive at this point and only applied in very rare circumstances. I don't.
These are pretty simple animations, though. It's just some planets.
We're talking about early 90s here. Computers were not that advanced.
But we're not talking about early 90s because this is the remastered version.
Because if you look at Saturn, again, it bugs the hell out of me, but anytime when they move Saturn off to the right,
the rings see where the stars inside the rings.
You'll see the plate that the thing was sitting on, and they moved away from it.
Okay.
This was all done in camera on film.
Impressive.
Yeah.
I've always wondered how they do that. You know, like the moving stars here at different depths, all going at the same time. How do you do that without a computer?
I know how you do that with a computer, because if you look on stream, that's what I did. But yeah, just with
a lot of it is rotoscoped animation.
And then when the ship's hanging out, they've just got a giant black field they put it against.
How big is the actual Enterprise model? Isn't it like 4 or 5 feet long?
At this point, it still would have been the 6-foot model, but they did shrink down to like a 2-foot model later on.
I thought it was 4 for the second model.
No, I think it's smaller than that.
Oh, here's the benefits of the 30-day trial. Keep your books forever, even if you cancel.
Ooh.
Oh.
Get everything.
Well, I think you only get like 2 books. Maybe even just 1.
Oh, well, okay. Choose wisely.
That's not very unlimited.
No, I don't want to connect to Bluetooth. Get out of here.
Why does Worf need to order a search? Why doesn't he just get on the PA? Surely the ship has a PA.
We know, at least in the early seasons, it has that whistle thing.
The
the TOS ship does.
Yeah, I forget what that's called.
It's called a whistle thing. Oh, this e-ink loading speed is really throwing me off.
Yeah, the refresh rate is very slow.
Yeah, it's a pain if you need to zoom into some fantasy map or something.
Yeah, or I even have a version of the Kindle myself where I can browse web pages. It's painful doing it that way. Boatswain's Call. That's what it's called. Boatswain's Whistle.
Okay. Mr. and Mrs. Dursley of number 4 Privet Drive were proud to say that they were perfectly normal. Thank you very much. They were the last people you did. That's enough of that. Dr. Dalenquace has enemies. Seems unlikely.
Like him? No, I can't.
It's the people from Church's Chicken.
I mean, you're asking the computer, did you actually call someone? Because I assume if you just talk to a person, they'll probably remember.
Did anybody meet this guy in person besides Beverly?
Yes. Chief
O'Brien.
O'Brien beamed him in.
Yeah. Anybody else?
I don't think so.
So for right now, it's just the records that are wrong.
As far as we know.
Does
No one's
anybody
going to
ever
believe
had,
Chief O'Brien.
Next to the universe.
I suppose something akin to this happens with real life detectives and whatever else a lot, where they get this situation where there's no explanation for why the data says what it says, and it makes no sense, but that's what it says. Or I don't know, you're doing computer debugging or something.
So, speaking of detectives and Kindles, it turns out Sherlock Holmes is actually kind of racist.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Given that the book takes place in 1890, and it was written, I don't even know when, but forever ago. Yeah. Modern adaptations kind of leave that part out.
Well, Conan Doyle had some weird beliefs.
Yeah, Sir Arthur Conan Doyle and Henry Houdini had a huge rivalry.
Houdini?
That's right, yeah.
Rivalry? Why? Was Harry Houdini trying to write books and Dr.
Was he going like Sherlock Holmes could figure out your tricks?
No, so Henry Houdini was a huge advocate for skepticism and like generally proving that bullshit was bullshit.
Okay.
And Sir Arthur Conan Doyle...
Yeah, he spent his whole post-magic career.
Yeah, Sir Arthur Conan Doyle was heavily into the occult and was essentially a scam artist.
Okay. Good to know.
Seances
There
and
was a
shit.
movie... Yeah, he was fooled by this hoax where these women made up these fake fairies or something.
Oh,
Doyle
yeah.
There was like a movie about it.
There was a movie, 1997 movie called Fairy Tale, which is very, very loosely based on the true story of the Cottingley fairies, which was a photographic hoax that two little girls pulled off and not even meaning to pull off in about 1917. And a whole lot of really important people at the time believed it was real, including Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. And these ladies kept it a secret until they were almost at the end of their lives in the early 1980s before they admitted to everybody that it had been a hoax. And thankfully,
And
everybody...
you can find those photos, and they look kind of convincing, but not that convincing.
Where did Doctors Hill and Solar go? What happened to Dr. Solar? Dr. Solar, of course, is played by Kalar, also known as Female Q.
Yeah, if you've ever seen the movie The Prestige, that movie is based on a book, which is loosely based on the Houdini and Arthur Conan Doyle rivalry.
Yeah, I imagine Chief O'Brien had to be very unhappy with this. I mean, someone's basically just calling you a liar, and they give you a full, very comprehensive physical exam to prove that you're a liar and not, like, mentally deranged.
Well, in the case of a missing person, I would be willing to submit to that.
And now that we don't have Dr. Solar, who's going to give Dr. Crusher that physical to make sure she's not deranged?
Yeah. Some instances you cannot do physician heal thyself.
Kaczynski's warp field, but it wasn't him. It never was. It was his assistant. We established this.
Boy, I forgot about that meme.
It wasn't him. It never was.
It's a slinky.
It was his assistant. A bubble.
He popped.
Oh god, is that what happened? Do you guys remember that holodeck episode with Loxana? The floating heads inside bubbles?
No.
Is that what happened?
I don't.
Is there a
remember
Dalen
that.
Quace bubble?
That episode comes a little bit later.
Yeah, it's like season 7 or something because it's insane.
Oh, I can't stand that episode.
That's the Hire the Viewer episode.
I hate that so much.
All right, hang on. While this episode is going, let me just load up paint.net and get a screenshot of Dr. Dalen Quace and some bubbles. Let's see. That's a really empty room. Do you not have a nurse now? I don't think she has a nurse. Oh, that is a perfect screenshot of Dr. Dalen Quace. Thank you, Memory Alpha. What do you mean? Why would she... I do really love all the rationalizations they come up with.
Yeah.
It's like, we've never needed a crew before. It's like, what do you mean?
The fact that Data is, telling her these things too is really disconcerting, or would be in this situation, because humans can have delusions or whatever, but Data is obviously computer, which can have a different sort of bug or whatever. But he's almost never incorrect about stuff like this.
Yeah, he's usually the odd one out who figures out what's going on.
His memory doesn't remember wrongly. Somebody jettisoned them all for fun.
Why haven't they scanned her brain yet? I mean, it's not nice, but
well, right now there's nobody else.
Good theory.
Yeah, who's gonna scan her brain? She doesn't have any staff.
True.
She can't scan her own brain.
Yeah, or maybe she could just program the computer device to do it for her. But still, she should have done that by now.
Should have done that after Quace, honestly. I mean...
Oh, she just said she did it.
She just said she did it.
I mean, if you're literally going insane, I don't think we can trust your analysis, Doctor.
Yeah, that's true.
It's the whole point of having multiple people.
This is, it just occurred to me that this episode kind of feels like a nightmare.
Oh, yeah.
Like a real life nightmare that you might have.
It would have been better.
Yeah,
that's
true.
So it would have been better there if she turned around and said, "I'll talk to Troy," and he goes, "Who's Troy?"
Can't hear you.
Oh, sorry.
If he went up and said, "Talk to Troy," and he's like, "Who's Troy?" Well, at least Captain Picard is very understanding. That's nice. Captain Picard's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
It does feel like an episode of The Twilight Zone or something early on here.
Yeah.
Oh, this is the episode where she did her own stunts before she found out she was pregnant, correct? That's what I remember.
Maybe.
I think the
Oh, is
only
that
stunt
Beverly?
that there is. I think the only stunt that there is when she jumps through.
Yeah, she'll be okay.
There's a little bit of wire work at one point.
It wasn't there. It never was.
It was his assistant.
It was his assistant. Well, they were giving a lot of benefit of the doubt. Like a frankly excessive amount.
Well, that was nice of them.
Yeah, I wouldn't have even expected them to call back. 114, you
no,
say?
leave us alone.
Is it Data? Is that the right number? Thank you. Oh. You beat me to it, Captain.
Good to have them justify, the usual excessive space for us.
Yep. Who? Worf? What do you mean?
The guy that, what's his name's mom calls Wolf,
Mr.
Guy
Azhenko? Yeah, I think you're kind of going crazy here, Doctor. Yes, Beverly? You have, yes.
What do you mean ask me when I can answer?
Ask her when she can answer.
So here's a really touchy question, but if it is just her, isn't that much better than if it was really happening?
It is, but it's not as good for her, potentially.
Yeah, it's better for the show, but not for her.
All right, I need to unblur the screen for just a second. I have something very important to show you. Dr. Dalen Quace. You'll notice I even went through and added the... Maybe.
Put that in the Discord, please.
I made sure to add the little light effects from this shining thing. In nice and blue.
You said paint.net?
Paint.net. It's
There is
like
no such
regular
website.
Paint, but better.
Oh, it's a program, not a website.
It's a program, it's not a website.
But online.
You can get it at getpaint.net. I think I actually have GIMP installed, but I've never used it for anything other than, I think, batch conversion, because it has that function, or plugin at least. About warp bubbles. Warp bubbles, you say? Of course, Kaczynski can't explain it. It wasn't him. It never was. It was his assistant.
Maybe what Dr. Crusher needs to do is take a warp bubble bath.
Ah, I see. It's brilliant. It might just work. Tau Alpha C. Oh, bye, Wesley. All right, it is now in the Discord if you want that picture.
Yay. Oh, thanks for turning on the downloads.
Oh yeah, that the issue with that was just that you can't do the save as for things that are links. You can only do it to direct uploads. And people are just linking stuff.
Yeah, if this wasn't such a mentally scary situation here, it would be kind of cool to have an entire starship this huge, all to 2 people.
Oh yeah.
That would be really awesome.
Best you can do right now is recreate it on the holodeck.
Yeah. Oh wait, you could. That's right.
You could, but then people can walk in at any time if you're late or you run out of holodeck hours. Yes, you cannot actually write in the YouTube chat paint.net unless you use the word dot, because it blocks links for, I assume, obvious reasons.
He's not good at it, but he loves to.
Tomato burning pizza?
Yeah, he's terrible at it.
And now, I noticed she didn't say he's good at playing the trombone. She just said he does play the trombone.
Well, normally when you say somebody plays it, you imply that they're competent at it.
Really, you can't even use the word dot for a fake link in YouTube chat. That's interesting.
Owns a trombone.
The YouTube algorithm.
You know what? I can post links. Hang on, let me just make sure this link is still valid. I haven't used it in a couple years. Yes. There, that's the URL. That's the website. If you want paint.net, I like it. I think it's a very good program. YouTube chat will block all links. So you could like type in a nonsense IP address and it'll block it. Probably. I wonder if you can link 192.168.1.1.
He
doesn't even remember the Traveler. Is Captain Picard just pretending that episode didn't happen?
Maybe the Traveler was just erased.
Well, I mean,
actually, he would have been if the universe is shrinking, right?
Actually, I think he does exist right this minute, because Tau Alpha C will get explicitly erased in a little bit. It's still there for now.
Oh, he exists.
For the moment, he does. Yeah, I don't know why we would ever want to forget that episode. That's when we got Wesley described as the Mozart of physics. Alright, body temperature of 37.2. Let me just get the exact conversion. It's probably 98.96 is Captain Picard's body temperature.
He's running a little hot, actually.
A little bit, but nobody's exactly 98.6. There's a little bit of fluctuation.
98.6 is no longer the mean temperature. Well, first of all, it never was, because that was just something some jackass made up a long time ago. But
I think I usually run like 99.
Human body temperatures have actually been going down over the past 20 years.
Respiration 17. The computer read his blood pressure, which was implicitly in millimeters of mercury, but now I can't remember the numbers. Now, she actually issues a voice command to the computer to have the ship go to a particular place. which I always thought was really cool too. Don't even have to sit down at the console, let alone push any buttons. You just tell a ship to go and it goes.
Here's the wire work.
Whee! Okay, that was a stunt, of course.
No, Beverly, you should have jumped through. You would have saved us 10 minutes on this episode.
Now, this is the first time we see outside of the bubble, right?
Yeah.
Since she went into it, yes.
Why is that? Should not be Wesley's reaction if he has just lost saving his mother from death.
I mean, he might have been stealing himself for it, I suppose.
So now
All right, I have important news, everyone. I am currently 97.5 Fahrenheit. 97.5. It's very important. I know you were all curious.
Thank you for this vital information.
Now, I'm looking at the Traveler here. I don't like his neck thing. It reminds me too much of the flaps. They're even the same color as Wesley's flaps.
He just moved them.
I don't like it.
The designer clearly had a preference.
Well, then be Vulcan.
Yeah, people enter people's thoughts all the time. You're a worthless, Traveler.
You're a wizard, Wesley.
They really probably should have dropped this plot line after season 1 when they realized it was really weird. Phone's for you.
Did you guys notice his hands?
I did notice his weird, giant, meaty hands, yes.
Yeah, that's incredible. Wow.
They were that way in the first episode we saw him in too, though.
They're kind of horrifying.
I guess I never noticed. Yeah, definitely.
I mean, I guess that's fair. If you are crazy, then nothing is actually happening, so hey, whatever. This is my favorite part.
I'm sorry, I don't know the answer to that one.
Yeah, that is absolutely my favorite line in this episode. That is not a valid question. I know a lot of people like the, well, at least one vocal person really likes if there's nothing wrong with me, there must be something wrong with the universe. It's a pretty good line, too.
Fifth starship, but at least a sixth spaceship. Kind of the prototype space shuttle.
Well, let's see. There was the NX-01, which isn't a Federation starship, but it's a starship. There is 1701, A, B, C, and now the D.
Well, yeah, but I forgot about NX-01, but I was referring to the real-life space shuttle prototype.
Right.
But you're right. If that was before the Federation was formed, then it's not a Federation ship.
Which is how you get around all those... the times people comment on how many enterprises there have been.
Mm-hmm.
Like those, like the temporal agents in DS9. They comment on how many... there have been 5 ships by that name. 6. Yep, here's Tau Alpha C. Engage to where?
She got to say engage, Tau Alpha C.
She did. Wait, change course to where, Beverly? Wait, what? What are you talking about?
It's always the same when you're arguing with a computer.
I mean, the computer's right. There is no Tau Alpha C.
By the way, the traveler here outside the bubble just beamed himself in or whatever. With like, how did he know that they needed him?
Space magic.
Wesley told him somehow.
He sensed Wesley's thoughts of danger.
He sensed a disturbance in the force.
Now, here's a reason to not go with the latest Kindle. It uses a micro USB, not USB-C.
Mm-hmm.
Who uses micro USB these days?
The Kindle.
Still 90% of the USB connectors.
I refuse to believe it. There is only USB-C.
I agree.
Well, every battery I've got uses it. Including the one that for jump-starting my car, come to think of it.
Yeah, I think I have a lot of battery packs that are micro. I have a little moon night light that's micro USB. But that was like $2, so I wouldn't expect great things from it. You got a device with a mini USB? What does that even mean? What do you mean mini USB? Who uses that? Where did you get something that uses mini?
The old PS3 controllers used mini USB.
Yeah, but we're 2 generations past that now.
Yeah.
How did you get that last month?
Oh, mini USB. Oh yeah, that was used on a lot of early digital cameras.
Dang it.
Something wrong with the universe, Beverly. Interesting.
This is some actually really good single-handed detective work she's doing.
Oh, yeah. Did I remember correctly?
I think you said
I got
400.
it wrong. I said 400. It's 705 meters in diameter. It's okay, it'll get to 400 meters real quick.
Then you'll be correct.
Briefly.
So right
Is
there
that
at that
supposed to be
moment,
the moon? Where are they?
Starbase 133.
Well, I got that part, but what planet is this?
Where's Starbase 133? I don't know.
Is the planet also called Starbase 133? It might be. They talk
Might
about
be.
starbases on the surface of planets.
Slinky, slinky.
That's a weird slinky.
Oh, you never
That's one
bent
of
them
those toys
around?
that collapses.
You never bent them around on itself?
I mean, I have. It just doesn't really work in that configuration exactly.
Yeah, sort of. By the way, the shape that that's outlining is called a torus. It's commonly called a donut shape.
Yep.
And the adjective is toroidal.
And in fact, we see a toroidal planet in Star Trek at one point, I think. I think we see a Taurus planet. I don't remember where. It's probably Voyager. It's always Voyager when something like that. Voyager Taurus planet. Was it Blink of an Eye? Yeah, it's Blink of an Eye. That episode where the no, not Lieutenant B'Elanna Taurus. That's a different thing. Also, that's the wrong kind of Taurus. It's that kind of Taurus. Yeah, Blink of an Eye, the episode where Voyager is like stuck in the atmosphere of a planet and time is moving like 1,000 times speed on the surface.
Oh, never saw that one.
Oh, that one's great. That's probably one of my favorite Voyager episodes.
Now
Okay.
Look at this diagram here on the screen. This is kind of strange because the torus has an empty center. That center is not within the bubble. So why is the ship there? There's a void in the center of it.
Now, I'm just
Yeah,
looking at the
the
bridge
bridge
right now.
is
The bridge is going to be destroyed in like 5 seconds based on the diagram. Because the bridge is pretty near the front. Yes, I'm not a Taurus, but I do drive a Taurus.
On the other hand, the ship could be off center within the bubble. That would explain what I saw there.
And the Traveler's a weird character. I really wouldn't have expected them to bring this character back after season 1.
No kidding. Yeah. Basically nothing from seasons 1 or 2, except lore, I guess.
This is not the Traveler's final appearance either.
Nope, he's going to show up as a Native American guy disguised later on.
In disguise?
Yeah, he's disguised as himself as a Native American guy. And now I can't hear the word Native American without thinking Hideve Hodoke. It's a good name. No idea if that's how you actually pronounce it. But Hideve Hotoke is pretty cool.
By the way, the images there on the computer screens are called Okudagrams, after Michael Okuda, who created them in real life.
Alright, she's figuring it out. She's almost got it. Oh, look at her coat. It's like caught on the comm badge that's stuck to her shirt.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe she tucked it in there to keep her coat from flapping around. I wasn't talking to you.
Alexa, shut up. Kansas does not exist anymore.
That's fine. There's nothing there anyway.
But that is actually a really good, interesting thought that she knows what the Wizard of Oz is 400 years later.
I mean, in Star Trek, they seem to be obsessed with, like, 19th and 20th century Earth.
Oh yeah, same thing in Doctor Who.
Either 20th century Earth or, like, 8th century Earth. And more like 13th. When was Shakespeare? Was he, like, 14th? No. He was way later. When was Shakespeare?
At
Was he
least
1600s?
Or maybe he was 1600s, which would have been 15th.
Okay, yeah.
I should know this. It's my
Late
fucking
1500s. He died in 1616.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Dr. Crusher episodes, some of them are excellent, and some of them are Scottish. Gates McFadden is pretty good, but sometimes the writing doesn't quite work out.
And she's fine. She really hadn't done a ton of acting before this show. She was really more of a dancer, I think.
Mm-hmm.
The episode where she does another investigation episode, another mystery episode with Dr. Rega, the Ferengi and the Metaphasic Shield, that one's pretty good. That's Beverly
In real
Centric.
life, in real life now, Gates McFadden is a theater manager, I believe.
Okay.
Stage theater manager, that is.
Oh, Wesley's figuring it out.
The only thing I've seen her in acting wise other than Star Trek was she's in The Hunt for Red October. I know that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she's the wife at the beginning. And she has like one line.
Yeah, for playing Jack Ryan's wife, she's really not in it very much.
Did you get something on direct?
Now, why is she waiting? Reality's collapsing right behind her.
I mean, it's a pretty horrifying thing to force yourself to jump into.
Whee!
She did it, though. Good job, Bev. Does she care about Wesley, though? No?
Maybe
The
she
fact that he's
just didn't-
collapsed, she's fine.
Maybe she just didn't see him there until now. He is collapsed like behind the table or whatever.
Guess, but... $1,014. Good to know.
Well, counting the guest.
Oh, hi.
South Airlocks 222 something.
I think it said 230 to 240.
All right. So the next episode is also here. It's Legacy. It's okay.
How come it says south and not like aft?
Maybe it's referring to the
magnetic pole of the space station.
Or no, maybe no. I'm thinking it's referring to the axis of the planet.
Oh, it's in the space. It's the station. Yeah. Okay.
I think it's referring. It must
That
be
makes more
referring to
sense.
the axis of the planet that the station is orbiting.
But surely that's going to change a lot as it orbits.
Unless it's in a fixed position orbit.
Geostationary?
Somehow.
Even if it isn't, though, north and south should be consistent, right?
I guess. It depends on... I guess.
Legacy. The crew of the Enterprise enters into orbit around the home planet of their former crewmate Tasha Yar, where they encounter her sister. This one, her sister has... It's like she literally stepped out of 1990 fashion. I remember this one. It is so 1990s.
It's a very Sarah Connor vibe.
Now, there are two things we know about this planet. One, there are family-friendly content gangs everywhere. And two, there's a cat. Hang on, press play in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play. Family-friendly content gangs and a cat. That's all we know, as far as I'm aware.
They're using gold and silver colored chips.
Worthless gold? Okay, he has a 2 ace, 3... I think that's a 4 and a king.
Yeah.
Ace 2, 3, 4, so he doesn't have a straight?
Yeah, he doesn't have a hand.
He has nothing. Wait, hang on, I think those were all hearts. Isn't that a flush?
Oh, they weren't all hearts, were they?
No, there are a couple of black cards.
Okay. Well, Riker thinks he has a flush.
That was a metal statement. It will cost you 20 to make that determination, sir.
Well, no, Data, show the hand. I want to verify if it was a flush. Oh yeah, this bit. Data is pretty gullible, so I might expect this to work.
I ran it back and it was not a flush.
It was not a flush, okay. Yeah, Deanna's supposed to be able to tell when people are lying. But then Jordy can also see through people's cards and see what they have. So, which he explicitly states at one point. So I guess it's just a table of cheaters.
Look at the back design on the cards. That's not a design I've ever seen before. It's not like you would expect a bicycle design or whatever brand. I wonder where they got those.
Maybe they made them themselves. Data, that's not...
Throw them away.
Data...
52 pickups.
Riker's completely unfazed, though. I don't think he even noticed.
Edible.
I'm not sure this trick would actually work. Mostly in that last step when he had 3 cards in front of him and he just had to pick one.
Well, we don't know what the... He might have said to throw it away, though. I mean, the whole thing was multiple outs, right?
But you weren't left with just 1 card, did you? You were left with 3 cards, and he chose one. Surely that's a 1 in 3 chance.
Right, but if he picked the wrong one, then he would have said to throw it away and then pick one of the other ones.
That's true. Yep, okay, you're right.
Because he also chose which deck to throw out when he was cutting them. It was sometimes the left one, sometimes the right one.
Well, that's a blurry Enterprise right there.
In hindsight now, it's a real shame that the screens were not actually made interactive in some way. Because today we expect that in real life.
Like when he presses a button, it doesn't actually do anything?
Yeah, it doesn't actually make any lights change or whatever.
They do that for the later shows. Well, I think Enterprise, they started doing that.
According to Will Wheaton, he had a pattern for every command.
Oh yeah, he and Brent Spiner and other guys created their own patterns.
Oh, hey, Miles. I'm just realizing that Miles' hair really improved by his time on DS9.
Oh, here's another count of transporting after exploding. Maybe.
Also, this is a really long open. We haven't hit the credits yet. Fantastic. Of course it is.
Okay, so it's not transporting after exploding. It's an escape pod.
Well, that's not very polite of them.
I seem to remember that name, but from somewhere else.
The Potemkin, we've definitely heard it. Unless I'm just thinking of a United States ship.
Could be.
Okay, so on this credit sequence, look at fake Saturn. And in particular, look at the stars between Saturn and the rings compared to the stars elsewhere in the background, because it's completely obvious that it's on a different plate. Watch the stars between the rings coming up right here. The rings on the left side. Watch the rings on the left. They move off.
Oh, whoa.
Oh,
they stay in place.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah.
Because they had to...
It always amazes me, that sort of thing that is painfully obvious now, but I would never have thought to see.
Oh, by the way, the
things that you can get away with.
Riker was on the Potemkin when he got cloned.
Uh-huh.
The Potemkin, unless it's a different Potemkin. No, same Potemkin. It's also the ship that, in peak performance with the war game, that was the disabled ship.
No.
Oh, no, hang on.
That was a different one. That one was a Stargazer class.
It showed up somewhere in peak performance. Maybe in peak performance they just mentioned that that's what Riker did on the Potemkin.
There's that one blinking running light on the top there by the bridge. I think that's the only blinking running light that they have. Oh, there's one on the door on the ventral there.
The Potemkin was in ethics, to bring Dr. Toby Russell, and then was part of the Ninth Fleet around Bajor.
Yeah, the one in peak performance was the USS Hathaway.
Right. So they just talk about the Potemkin in there because Riker is in command and Riker's previous experience. Of course, he wasn't in command of the Potemkin.
The story so far here, by the way, is that there's this ship around. There's this planet that anybody is going to beam down to, they'll be killed if they're caught. And there's this ship that sent out a distress call, blew up, but before it blew up, it sent out an escape pod, which has now been forced to land for life support, whatever. Why doesn't the escape pod, or the escape pod is purposely going down to the surface?
Yeah. I guess the person in the escape pod didn't know the Enterprise was there.
Yeah, so why didn't they hail them or whatever? What exactly is their mission then?
What language is that?
It's upside down. It says "kin me" in English letters. KIN-MEI.
Is that true or are you making that up?
No, I turned my head and that's what it said. I don't know what made me think it was upside down, but it worked.
Okay.
Hey, those are 20th century light bulbs on the ceiling.
Yeah, people on this colony don't believe in energy efficiency. Oh, that guy. Oh, I've seen him before. Christopher Michael. Does he play... I mean, he's too young, but he really looks like the guy who plays a doctor in TOS. Dr. Daystrom. He looks like the guy who plays Richard Daystrom.
Are you thinking of the Doctor in Babylon 5 too, perhaps?
No, I've never seen that.
Okay, never mind then.
I mean, it might be the same guy. I don't know.
It's not the same guy. They resemble each other, though.
I'm just looking him up now, see what else he's in. DS9, he plays a Helm officer in Rules of Engagement. Coalition Man number 1.
Like cops, security guards, that kind of thing, yeah.
Let me bring up a picture of Dr. Richard Daystrom for comparison. Yeah, is it just me or does he look exactly like Dr. Daystrom? Maybe a little bit younger. Yeah, this guy looks a lot like fake Tasha. And I can stop calling her fake Tasha when I remember what her name is, but for now she's fake Tasha. Same hair.
Just put the kin me in the Discord.
Oh, are you sure everything? Because that's a lot to know.
Well, first the Earth cooled. Then the dinosaurs came.
First, there was this little omnipotent being hanging out on the surface, dipping its hand in some goo.
Was that an airplane reference earlier?
Yes.
Urban street thugs.
My favorite character in that movie.
Yes.
Your favorite character is Urban Street Thugs?
Yeah, exactly.
It's the actual name. Urban Q Street Thugs. No deposit, no return.
Just a little tie-in, though.
No shirt, no shoes, no service.
Oh, there she is. There's fake Tasha.
Ishara, ER.
Ishara? Okay.
Yeah, definitely Sarah Connor vibes.
Very strong jaw on Ishara. This is very convenient of them. Having to have Tasha Yar's sister in the place they beam down to. So it's just muted? They can still see them?
Yeah, they can still read their lips if they have that skill.
I was just thinking more that it's going to be awkward to just watch them.
Yeah, doing this on audio only is very different than doing it on a view screen.
I just never understood why the person who's in charge of killing people with giant laser beams is also in charge of the audio.
I mean, when he's not shooting anyone, he needs something to do.
I guess.
And that's interesting. On Voyager, they had Tuvok be the operations officer, and he kind of did both Worf's and Data's job, right?
Well, Data's job was done by Kim, because that was ops.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
I'm an android. Of course you are, Data, thank you.
Cyberdyne? Oh, cybernetic.
I mean, you say that, but I mean, when they go to war, who do they send? So, on the Kindle, do I want Sherlock Holmes Complete Collection, Sherlock Holmes The Complete Collection, a different Sherlock Holmes The Complete Collection, The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, Adventures of Sherlock Holmes and Other Stories?
It's possible that you can go into the reviews and have people tell you what the contents are. Whether they add notations or footnotes or stuff like that.
I'm just going to go with the... I don't remember what it's called, but there's like an Amazon Basics brand of books for stuff that's in the public domain. Because these ones want you to pay for it, and I'm not paying for something that's in the public domain. I can just download a PDF. It's ridiculous.
Yep.
Sherlock Holmes, the Great Mouse Detective? Maybe I can find that.
Great Mouse Detective?
I don't know. That's what Zathos wants.
I'm not sure all the Sherlock Holmes are in public domain because wasn't there a lawsuit with that Netflix movie, Enola Holmes, they thought was infringing on some of the still copyrighted material?
Yeah, there are some late stories where he has emotions, and so the basis of those, as I recall, is that they have a copyright claim on Sherlock Holmes having emotions.
What?
What?
It's something that
okay.
It's that big a stretch.
Are you telling me that when Data played Sherlock Holmes, he was actually playing Sherlock Holmes with no emotions?
I don't know. Data was pretty emotional in those episodes. He was having a great time.
Looking at this character, I almost cannot believe that this is not the actress who played, who is it, Linda Hamilton is her name? Sarah Connor.
Yeah, she looks a lot like Linda Hamilton, and the 90s hair is really hammering it home.
Except for, I don't think I've ever seen that hairstyle on a woman in real life, or even a man, come to think of it.
No.
Yeah, maybe more like out of a 90s music video or something. I don't know.
But I mean, I've never seen someone with Gianna's hair.
David Bowie has had that haircut, hasn't he?
Well, okay,
Yeah,
I would
like Fox Seagulls. I don't know.
count that as real life. I would count that as a stage act. I mean,
Right.
real life, like when I go to the grocery store. Oh, that's a painting there of a planet on the back wall.
Yep. And some kind of
Possibly
ship
moon.
down and to the right.
Yeah.
Some kind of ship. It has a ring. Oh, well, that was easy. We did it.
Yay, team.
Good job, Ishara? Is that her name? Ishara? Sounds right.
Yeah, that's right.
Photon grenades. See, you say photon grenades. Are you talking about like photon torpedoes like antimatter? Is that what the grenades are using? What?
Why
What do you mean
not just do
photon
a whole?
grenade?
Yeah. We can transport torpedoes.
I mean, you can. You might lose the escape pod.
Something about making eggs.
You don't have to be so dramatic about it, Ishara. Jeez. Relax. Tasha's DNA is on file. Okay.
It makes sense for it to be.
Yeah. So, and we also have a little hologram of her in Data's desk, if you prefer that. She got killed by an oil slick. No? I'm trying to think of why this colony was allowed to just become complete anarchy. I don't. I know the Federation is sort of hands off, but not that hands off. I would have assumed martial law. They'd be cracking down, sending security officers down there.
Plus, the colony said they didn't want to be in the Federation.
But I mean, surely the original government wouldn't have said that. And if it was the people who just took over and staged a coup, I don't see why the Federation would listen to them.
Nope. Containment unit is breaching. Ghosts are going to escape.
Ghosts are going to escape.
Ghostbusters, you know.
Very spooky. So I can't help but notice there's a distinct lack of grenades.
The lights that they have under their skin remind me a whole lot of Logan's Run.
Is that the thing where people are like euthanized when they get even slightly old?
When you're 25, I believe.
Oh. Well, it looks like I'm due for euthanization.
I'm about to say I should be dead for quite a while at that point.
I don't know, generally prefer not to be euthanized, but I mean, if that's the rules. "21 in the book, 30 in the movie." Yeah, I should have been euthanized a while ago.
Well, now I'm waiting for that episode. Half a Life.
Yeah,
According
because that's
to
the same thing. It's literally Logan's Run, but in Star Trek.
It's a damn good episode.
According
It's
to
a Loxana
IMDb,
episode where
Underground
Loxana
Complex
doesn't
is
make me want to just tear my ears off.
I think I remember always being told that the ancient Egyptians only lived until their early 20s.
Is that actually true though, or is that just some
doesn't
weird
sound
statistical thing about infant mortality?
Yeah.
No, not infant mortality. It was, assuming it is true, and I don't know whether it is. It was because of just harsh conditions and no knowledge of medicine.
IMDb said the underground complex were redressed as a Borg ship interiors. I don't know if anyone picked up on that.
I didn't notice. But I've also been looking at various editions of Sherlock Holmes.
Benedict Cumberbatch.
That's not quite the one I'm looking for, but maybe I should rewatch that. It was pretty good, at least the first season. Second season kind of went off the rails a bit.
Even though her leg got broken, her hair remains perfect.
Yes. There's a lot of product in it. It just can't move.
Uses the space version of "Got to Be Glued."
Wait, what do you mean? No, don't rewatch it. What's wrong with it? At least season 1. What's wrong with season 1? Sorry, series 1. It's a British show. Series 1. Carnelian Minefield. Okay.
Carnelian. That's a stone in real life. Red stone.
Now, I'm just curious why Tasha was doing that and they didn't just beam the person out of the minefield. Or beam Tasha to the person instead of having her walk through the mines.
Maybe they didn't have a communicator? Or it got broken? And maybe once he did see that, that was their ticket out of there. It was Ziggurat.
Everybody loves
That's the name of
Ziggurat.
that.
Botanical Section 8. That's where they grow their food. Oh, is that Lieutenant? No, that's not Lieutenant J.
That is one flattering outfit she's got on. Also flattering pose, come to think of it.
Yeah, I remember when I was in 6th grade, and I showed my friends a Star Trek encyclopedia, and the picture for sister, or Yasha,
Ishara.
Shara, sorry, and Picard on the sick bay. My 6th grade friend says Picard looks like he's about to bone her.
Okay.
But anyway, that was my struggle as a kid.
You mean the scene that just passed?
Sorry, I'm still trying to skip to where we are, but I thought we were on in this scene right here where she's wearing that
The blue
it would be
thing.
a wife beater if it was a guy who was wearing it. The tank top?
No, there's
Tank-
no tank
yeah.
top here.
In the previous scene at Sick Bay.
Yeah, a minute or two ago.
She's in a blue onesie here.
Onesie is not a very erotic. Oh, it is.
Oh, that was beautiful.
It's very 7 of 9. Yeah.
Yeah, this shape of this pyramid shape for a building is called a ziggurat.
Yep. Widely used for the undead.
Yeah.
The term ziggurat is a spooky term. There are no heroes that use a ziggurat. It's always evil.
Yeah. Including in StarCraft, right?
Yeah.
Do the Tal'Darim use ziggurats? Who uses ziggurats?
It's Warcraft 3, isn't it?
No, StarCraft, not War.
Was it StarCraft? Okay.
Well, Warcraft also uses ziggurats. The undead use ziggurats.
Oh,
So the ziggurats were temples in real life for the ancient Babylonians.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
a real thing, and I think I think there's a Protoss ziggurat in StarCraft 1.
They were built like steps because the idea was that the gods would come down and descend to us at the temple.
And the gods hadn't invented elevators yet.
What a simple escalator.
Oh, that's what the Egyptians gods used, right? They had escalators, and Babylonian ones had steps. So, was Ishara more beautiful than Tasha?
I don't know.
I don't know.
She's a character. I mean,
Do you
I'm not
blame her?
convinced by her outfit. Look, I don't really care about how Ishara looks. I just care about the outfit. And it's okay. I'm not
Do you
convinced
blame
by the
her?
One Piece aspect of it. It seems impractical.
Do you blame her for like being poor and like
I mean-
duplicitous?
sometimes sexiness and practicality don't intersect.
But she
For
lives
men and
on a
women.
chaos murder planet.
Right.
Maybe
I
I,
would
think she got it while she changed into it on board, right? Maybe it's
She did.
maybe it's one of the outfits they had on hand or something.
There's a treat yourself thing. Just putting on a fancy dress or a fancy onesie.
Yeah.
This camera here just did a swing around, right?
Yeah.
That's interesting. They don't do that very much.
Yeah, I think
It's got to be hard to keep your eye off the camera as it's moving around you. Just keep staring at Brent.
it's because she takes the crew for a ride. That's why.
I
That's
don't know
true.
if you
though,
should
very-
trust him.
The more we get together, the happier we'll be.
I mean, you could have left with Tasha. She knew what was up. You didn't have to stay. Oh, now she's laying it on. Yeah, now I'm starting to get a little sketchy on her.
Wonder why this is not a Federation planet.
It was.
Oh, okay.
It used to be, and then they just abandoned it after they staged a coup or something. It's like, nah, it's too much work. We're leaving.
Yeah, and all the other people can just go into a civil war.
I'm reading the captions, and they're superimposed right over Deanna Troy's cleavage.
Is this because of your relationship with Tasha?
And sloppy writing, they never tell us about what happened to the cat.
Cat?
Yeah, in one of the
Tasha is-
flashbacks, Tasha had a cat.
She's like running from the rape gangs, you know, because like we were gonna have a counter at one point of how often Tasha Yar mentions the rape gangs. on
Yeah,
Iron
I just
Sky.
don't want that written out on my stream every single
Yeah.
day.
Also interesting to note, I'm watching this on Netflix, and it did give that warning in the upper left corner.
Are
this
you guys ready
particular-
for thank you data? We get a sincere thank you data. It's not sarcastic this time. for once. I don't know when in this scene, but it's definitely in this scene.
So if she is Sarah Connor, does that make Data the Terminator character?
Yeah.
It's the same actress?
No, but it sure looks like her.
It does.
Well, if she's into him, wouldn't he be the Kyle Reese character?
That was the most half-hearted kiss I've ever seen.
Yeah, she's a user.
You don't want to smear the makeup.
Oh,
Can
right.
we monitor her communications?
Yeah, no kidding.
Oh, this is in 1980 something.
1990.
Yeah, we're in 1990 now, but we're still in like 1988 mode.
Wow, people just trust her immediately.
It's like, you know how when you had a back in those days when you had a landline and somebody else picked up on the other end of the receiver, they could like listen in on your phone call.
Yeah. And before that, when there weren't enough telephone numbers, you actually had a party line with the same number as your neighbor.
I don't remember that. That might be before my time.
Yeah.
Oh, me too, but that's what it was. You had to talk to your neighbor and schedule when you were going to be on the phone and when they were going to be on the phone.
Oh, that's
And
awful.
you would often pick up your own phone and hear their conversation and have to hang up and wait until later to try again.
What do you mean? You didn't
Yeah.
just join in? You didn't go, hey guys, what's going on? What you talking about?
Oh, now she gets a belt for a phaser, deadly weapon.
Oh,
Is she
wait, why
to
did they give her a gun? I mean, I know they're going down to the planet right now, but usually they don't hand out the guns until they get into the transporter room. She's just walking around the hallways with it.
That's an interesting thought. Do they store the phasers in the transporter room?
In Best of Both Worlds, Worf walked in with the guns and handed them out.
He did that because they had to be adjusted beforehand.
Yeah.
Maybe Worf gave it to her and kind of showed her how it worked ahead of time. I don't know.
So, did they just vaporize the rock? Is that what happened?
Yeah,
they
did.
They phasered through it. So here's an interesting question. We always get the sprinkle sound when we watch it and we see people transporting. When you're actually transported, do you hear that sprinkle sound?
So I was a film major in college. Anyway.
We discussed this last week fairly extensively.
It's called diegetic sound. It seems like it, but there's a delay. There's like a 2-second delay while the people beam in.
It's a definitive maybe.
Then people in the show are like a little bit like have to take it in, but it's probably more for the audience to like grab it too. That like we're doing it energized.
We hear the sound, but characters never seem surprised by the sound. They seem surprised when they actually finally see the person.
There's the Barclay transport episode we see from his viewpoint of being transported. I'm trying to remember if there's a sound there.
Wow, that was a real big jump there.
Wait, guy, why did you shoot the top? Why wouldn't you shoot the where it connects to the door on the side? The hinges, that's what those are called.
They have like good money for special effects in this episode.
It's much more dramatic this way.
Ooh, dry ice.
Oh. Oh, geez, she shot him in the front, and you can see that red spot all the way in the back. Now, is that set to stun on her end, or did she just kill that guy?
I think they established later.
She shot someone.
Data, you're with me, and then they immediately split up? What?
Yep. You're with me in spirit.
that setup there looks pretty cool with the purple blinking lights.
That looks like
Reminds
something
me
that
of
would
the-
be in an ancient, like, Iconian ruin. Also, it kind of looks like an alien face.
Reminds
Wasn't
me
there
of
another underground rock tunnel episode with hostages?
Several in DS9.
Yeah. Sorry, but continue. You guys were saying.
Data, just shoot her. Data, you have a gun. You're faster.
He boned his sister. He can't just shoot her, man. Like,
Just shoot
You don't
her.
know how it works. You don't know how it goes.
Just shoot her.
He has to ascertain what she's doing first.
But he's already done that.
Oh,
Did it-
true.
He's tried to give her a chance to back out. But, I mean, don't. Just shoot her. He's an android. What are you planning to do on a stun setting?
But she's the one
Just
she
shoot
had
it.
it on the kill setting. She was planning to.
I don't think it's on stun.
Yeah, they find out later she was planning to like end him.
You know, maybe if Data had just, instead of just standing there, what if he just shot her before she raised the weapon?
So it's
would've been
confirmed
good.
in this episode that Data has a blonde fetish because of Tajir. Like,
Data, why do you even have a gun? If you're not going to use it.
Well, because without it, he would only have melee attacks. With the phaser, he has ranged attacks. The red blob went through her too on her
God,
back.
She missed. He wasn't even moving that fast. He was doing a casual stroll. Wow, she's just the worst. She lives on the murder chaos planet. She can't even aim a gun.
what if she couldn't get off the planet and her sister left her behind?
Did you see there how Data reholstered his phaser? That was a cool move.
He's got flair.
He does Western holodeck programs, okay? There's no need to be surprised. But we haven't seen a fistful of Datas yet, right?
Can we put handcuffs on her while she's on the bridge? She tried to murder Data.
Why are they not having this video conference call in the brig?
Okay. Oh, no, they're just sending her away. They're fine.
I mean,
Yeah, no,
it was
I'm
a
with
really-
Warfare.
It's an extremely sad episode in the tone that, like, you can't wish somebody came back from the dead.
Tasha wouldn't have shot Data. Or tried to.
But like I said, can we blame Ashara? And I think the answer is no. She was just loyal to the group of people that she kind of grew up with, as like we all would naturally be, right? Like none of us have joined.
I don't guess,
Especially in
but-
a desperate situation like that.
She had a lot of chances to back out.
She really did. And like all these people are willing to give you an opportunity. Like you could have replaced Wesley, you know, basically.
Oh, even Miles is angry at her. No, you didn't. Maybe you are.
No,
no.
she's not.
I'm not watching this in HD, but her t-shirt is very revealing.
That. What?
It's not really revealing, but it is really flowy.
You people.
Yeah, she doesn't have a bra on, which is
Yeah, I mean, it's the first time I noticed that. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Let's leave those details. Let's leave those details
changing
out.
subject. Yeah.
I'm just saying, anyone who thinks that, you know,
We can, look.
okay,
We can
let's move on.
let's critique the clothes, not critique the what's underneath the clothes. Let's leave that out.
Okay, yes. Good acting, Ishara Yar.
There you go. Go with that.
Oh, I got a question there. That thing that Riker was just holding reminded me. Are isolinear chips a real life thing, or were they invented for Star Trek?
No, they're made up.
Okay.
By the way,
They're very made up.
Wesley's
Not even
great.
sure what it would mean. Sorry.
I'm sorry. Please go ahead.
Like isolinear, like same line. Like I don't,
Yes.
like the etymology is weird.
Yeah, that's what the word means. I'm not aware of it in real life.
Yeah.
In real life, it refers to topographical maps. It's like when you have different lines show different
Look-
heights.
Look how green that wall is.
Oh, alright.
You could use that as a green screen.
He really likes his RGB lights.
This talk here that Riker and Data have is really, really comments on the nature of human life. The only way to get close to anybody is to make yourself vulnerable, and every time you do that, you risk being hurt. But there's no other way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like Seven and Harry, Kim, and Janeway had this conversation a few times.
Though with
When-
Harry, it wasn't.
Love is a
Harry's
disease.
episode with it was weird.
What? Wait. Oh, that's the. How did
he
Data
met
get
some
that?
alien chick, and then he got kind of obsessed over the course of a few hours.
And he started turning green.
Okay. That's it.
Go away.
Not yet.
Just every
I still.
season 3 spoilers.
I need to continue showing off the fancy new graphic I made. Ooh, very fancy.
Wow, I'm so
Ooh.
impressed.
Fancy new graphic.
That's so impressive.
Thanks, I made it myself. All right,
You know, somebody was
Yeah, what's up?
nothing. Just you kind of previewed the starship flying, the Starfield background earlier when somebody asked for like a screensaver or something.
Why
Yeah,
are the
someone-
words? Why do the words seem to be collapsing into the vanishing point when we are headed into the vanishing point?
Because I thought it looked neat.
It's kind of like the stars in the Saturn rings. Then
Yeah, someone
week.
someone posted in the Discord. I don't remember. It might have been Michael. Yeah, it was Mike. You posted some like really old timey basic Starfield effect, and so I do some programming just as a hobby. I was like, maybe I can make my own Starfield effect. So I made a Starfield effect.
Now your next challenge is to make the new Starfield effect, like from Discovery and the new Star Trek movies.
Look, I'm not that good.
To make the new warp effect from the Discovery.
All right. So if we're doing a cat cam, I need to do the of the crop.
Of course.
Oh, next week.
Hang on, I need to get the cat.
Oh,
All right. So tomorrow is going to be DS9 Season 4, and what are the episodes? It's going to be Little Green Men, which is pretty good. The Sword of Kahless, which is weird, but okay. And Our Man Bashir, which is amazing.
Oh, hell yes.
I'm very sad I won't be here for it.
What? Why aren't you going to be here for it?
Well, my husband flies into Brussels tomorrow, so I have to go pick him up Monday morning and get the other cat.
What can I do without this cat?
of course it's cat.
Of course. No, we'll just have
So-
two cats. I'll have two cats here now.
So you have to go pick up the cat in Brussels, is what you're saying. We don't.
Yeah, oh yeah, and the husband, but mostly the cat.
Yeah, just the cat. Someone else had a dog. I don't remember who, but someone had a dog. I don't know if the dog's still there. Dogs are more active. They move around a lot. I think that was Will, actually. Yeah, that might have been Will, and Will is currently deafened, so he's not here. So no dog. That's okay. So yeah, tomorrow, Little Green Men, Sword of Kalis, and Our Man Bashir. And then next week for TNG Season 4, that's going to be Reunion with Kalar. And we're going to get Alexander. Alexander's going to live on the Enterprise now, which is, he's there.
He's like in 3 episodes or something. He's around less than Keiko.
Yeah, and we're going to get some more evidence of Worf just being a terrible father. That's going to continue throughout the series.
Worst.
There's also going to be Future Imperfect, which everyone loves. That's the episode where Riker is put into may or may not be a real future.
You can't. Don't even try.
You can't. Don't even try. And then Final Mission, which I believe is the final Wesley episode until he participates in a cover-up about... Is it manslaughter? It feels like manslaughter.
Yeah.
That time that kid crashed.
Yeah. Negligent.
The Tom Paris, not Tom Paris episode. Right?
Yeah. So this next week will be the last time we see Wesley for quite a while. Yeah. All right, everyone go away. We're done. Get out of here.
Have a good day. Thank you, Ryan. Thank you, Kat. Thank you, Kat.
Good
Thanks, Ryan.
day, sir.
Thanks, everybody.
Live long and prosper.
Choose.
Live long and prosper. Thanks, Mike.